Hey guys, such a warmonger here, and you're watching 3 versus 3 Kingdom of Heaven. This is an attackers versus defenders scenario, and this version is the first replay I've gotten where the attackers have random attack locations. So now, if you've seen the previous videos, it used to be where attackers would always spawn here. This is what I call the north. But now, it looks like the attackers have spawned in the northeast. So, anyway, in player 1, we've got Skallado. He is a new player, and he's playing as the Turks, which defaults to the Franks. He's in player blue. In player 2, we've got Siftorias. He's a more experienced player. He's playing as the Burgundians, which actually have the same units as the Franks. So, player 1 and player 2, blue and cyan, have the same units. And he's playing as Burgundians. In player 3, we've got, it says Olivier Santal, but he prefers to be called Arthur. He's playing in green. He's playing as the Britons. Alright. And if we go over down to the defenders, we've got player 4, Gray Hypnos, playing as the Franks. And it looks like that means this is a mirror matchup between Crusaders. Crusaders versus Crusaders. In player 5, orange, we've got Vattikaki. He's playing as the Bohemians, which has the same units as the Teutons. And in player 6, red, we've got Dominykas. He's playing as the Italians. So we've got ourselves a mirror matchup. Let's temporarily go to the... what do you call it? To capture age. The starting attack locations may have changed, but the map is pretty much the same. The objective of the attackers is to bring defender morale down to 0 within 45 minutes. And objective of the defenders is to last 45 minutes, or bring attacker morale down to 0. So you've got Siftorias already together with Skallado. Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe Skallado has played before, or maybe Siftorias told him to do this, or maybe they're just following each other. But it seems that they're opting to make a very long pilgrimage from the top right. They don't like their starting location. They want to go to the bottom right, or in this map it would be the west and southwest. Looks like they've been caught out. I'm not sure if Dominic noticed that. But this is kind of a risky move, because Bills are no longer very fast in the beginning, so they're taking a while to catch up. Oh my gosh, they're making like a double supply depot base right here. Interesting. So they just decided we want to attack here. We want to make this our main line of attack. So if we do the fog of war, I am not sure. Yeah, this is basically what's happening. I don't think the defenders are aware of this. They're only aware of Arthur and his... Uh-oh. He's using friendly fire. Friendly fire on his own tents, maybe? They took one swordsman down. Yeah, they're only aware of Arthur and his position. So... this could be a problem later on. Either for Arthur, because he's all alone, or for the defenders, because they still have no clue that this area isn't under any danger. Although there is a scouting archers from Vattikaki. Well, I'm not sure they're scouting, or it's just a rally point. But you got Skallado already having a cavalry fight here, light cavalry fight. But Arthur is under heavy pressure from the defenders. It is a mirror matchup, so you know, there's no real like wiggle room between units, especially the most basic Levy swordsman. It's just all about being the better player. Hypnos is applying a lot of pressure, but he's kind of alone in the terms of the pressure he's giving. Dominic, it feels like he's wondering why he hasn't seen blue, Skallado and Siftorias yet. Interesting. Their wood line is getting raided pretty hard. I can just feel this. So this replay was sent to me. I'm not in this game. I'm such a warmonger, and you don't see my name here. And all they said is, this is a pretty good, maybe entertaining game, so I hope it is. It already kind of is, because they were seeing an unusual, like, 2 players moving to another starting locations kind of thing. You can see how strong these knights are. So here's what Arthur should probably do. Is if he's noticing a lot of heavy units, instead of making so many archers, maybe make some crossbowmen to counter elite units. Although, now that I think of it, Hypnos is not really making that much heavy elite units, so I don't know, maybe he's okay. You got Siftorias raiding the countryside. I don't think there's any more wood line or stone mining outside of the city from the defenders, so that's a problem. That's a good job from the attackers. Okay, now they should be noticing, hopefully, that the Tower of David is under siege, one of the keeps. They've actually built a pretty good camp here, and they're starting to besiege it. But I'm not sure Dominic is. Dominic should actually notice it, because he's not really in the battle right now. He's just trying to clear his wood line here, and I think he's looking for the enemy base. Arthur, whoa! It's nighttime, guys. So let's actually go back inside the game. Alright, so something I need to say is 1 hour in real life is 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute in real life, sorry, is 1 hour in the game. So nighttime starts at 9 p.m. and the dawn comes at 5 a.m. What that means is at nighttime, so if we look at the Skallado's point of view, this is what he sees. So he can't see his allies anymore, right? So he has no vision of even his allies, like Arthur's units. This is all he sees. So if we look at it from Dominic's point of view, this is what he sees. The only race, or civ, actually civ, not race. The only civ that can maybe counter this are the Britons. If Arthur decided to train like a Hashashin Fidai, which looks like a ninja, if he decided to train Hashashin Fidai, then they would actually have good vision at nighttime. It's the only unit in the whole game that can see well at night. So, unfortunately, he's not making it, which is... The power of the Britons are their archers, which I can see why he's deciding to train just pure Welsh bowmen instead of crossbowmen. But the Hashashin Fidai are their other power, because they can't make light cavalry. But Dominic, from this point of view, is trying to raid Arthur. I think he's looking for Oliver's camp, and he can't really find it. He can't seem to find it. Okay, now if we can just remember that everyone's blind and they can only see their own stuff, let's go back to Capture Age. You've got Vattikaki, together with Hypnos, still pushing out, still applying pressure to Arthur. You got some sergeants here. Oh, they're just passing. They're passing each other. So nighttime is a pretty chaotic time. Looks like Dominykas has finally found... He's found Oliver's... Oh no, Arthur's command tent. So what that does is it brings attacker morale down by 15%. So you can see that attackers have been brought down by 15%, and it starts a slow morale bleed of minus 1% every few seconds. I think it's 30 seconds at this point. So the attackers are losing morale. And now they lost even more morale because Dominykas also lost his elite tent. So there's nothing here. It's just a graphical glitch. But Dominykas is really trying to raid their supply depot. They're trying to bully Arthur, which is the right move to do. If you as a defender see one person is isolated and alone away from his allies, go bully him. But anyway, Skallado and Siftorias have decided to ram the Tower of David, and they've already started making their way in the city. So while Arthur is being destroyed in a 2v1, actually a 3v1 situation, the defenders have to be careful because the Tower of David is under heavy attack. So let's go back to Capture Age here. Now, if Siftorias and Skallado actually took out these low walls and sent some siege towers here, they actually probably would have been able to capture the Tower of David. This is a very dangerous situation for the defenders. They have to be careful. With this many medium to heavy cavalry, this is a very dangerous situation indeed for the defenders. Arthur has rebuilt, and it looks like he's stabilizing. And I'm pretty sure it's because that the defenders have to reroute and refocus their efforts on protecting the Tower of David and maybe even the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Hopefully you've seen other videos by now, but if you haven't, the way that the attackers lower... Looks like Skallado has gotten units inside. Do they smell blood? You need 15 units to capture a location. And there must not be... Oh, there might be... I'm not sure this is enough, actually. If there are no enemy units in the same area... Oh, he should just leave that there. Oh, okay. If there are no enemy units within the same location... the same capture zone, then you can capture that zone. Oh, Dominykas is really in trouble. He's losing his keep. He needs to send some repair guys. He needs to clear this huge Crusader force right outside the Tower of David. And here's another. Hypnos keeps sending men to open the gate. That's a very dangerous thing to do. Not that it matters because the gate has been destroyed. Very dangerous situation indeed. I'm pretty sure this keep goes down. Here he goes, last volley. I think they're gonna capture the Tower of David. Unless these guys need to go in right now. Dominic needs to send his knights in. Needs to hold this. I mean, this capture point controls not only your keeps, which contain gold units, but it contains 6 archery ranges and 6 barracks. So it's a huge production point. Like, I'm not sure what Dominic is doing here. He must be distracted somewhere else, but I don't know what would distract him from something so important. Maybe he's waiting for this group of reinforcements? I'm not sure. You gotta defend this. But it looks like the attack is actually bogging down, so maybe my fears were baseless. I don't know. But now Hypnos is gonna lose his keep as well. They've increased it from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 trebuchets now working. Without anybody repairing the keeps. Maybe they're just stuck. Oh, there he goes. He's starting to move them. But sometimes these streets are can be frustrating. He probably should just make this long way around this side street over here and come from the right side. Pretty sure this keep's gonna go down fairly quickly. Looks like there's some... Are there mangonels mixed in? Yes, a mangonel. I see a mangonel as well. Mangonels are not good against gates, but they're good against everything else. They only have 45 range compared to the 55 of trebuchets, but at least they're more mobile. That's their advantage. And they fire slightly faster. They do have a lower damage though. Arthur is starting to put pressure. I don't see any trebuchets. I don't see any rams. Well, I do see 2 rams. He should put men in them to make them move faster. But this is a big problem. Here's Arthur's spy. I don't think he's going to be able to open this gate for them. But they've stabilized. I don't think this is in any danger of being captured, but they are going to lose their keeps, because this is where you train your sergeants as the Crusaders, which are good against big masses of levy units, and now Hypnos has lost his. The front is stabilizing here on the Tower of David side. Although, I'm not sure how... Oh, I don't even know what happened here. Oh, you know what this is? Somehow this got damaged. It's because these guys must have fired and hit their own tent. But now, Vattikaki, his castle is gonna get... Or, keep is gonna get destroyed. You got 2 mangonels now. I mean, all of these defenses are gonna get wrecked. I'm telling you now. You've only got 1 villager repairing. No chance. Defenders are now starting to push out against this southern camp. But there are 2 players here instead of the 1. Arthur trying to bust down the gates. These battering rams are actually the fastest way to take a gate down. But it looks like Dominic is on the case. Fortunately, there's spearmen mixed around. There's spearmen mixed in, but he's got foot knights also trying to save it. And they were able to take the rams down. So, they live to fight another day. Maybe even repair this. If they can repair this... This is just 1 player. Maybe they could at least hold him off. Hold Arthur off. And focus their attention on keeping this alive. Well, not alive, but not in the hands of the attackers. Skallado continuing to make raids on the defender wood line. Now, horse archers, not the best unit for raiding vills. I mean, they miss. Light cavalry are better suited for the job. They also fire slowly. Now you can see that all 3 keeps are destroyed. This is the rubble left behind. It leaves behind some rocks to make it a little more impassable. Like, but now they're working on the towers. They should really send a ram to destroy these low walls, and then they can just walk right in. But you've got Siftorias with a formidable array of elite knights, foot knights, and foot sergeants. Gotta be careful about that. Hypnos should really be repairing this. By the way, time check is no longer nighttime. It hasn't been nighttime for the last 5 minutes. It's 10 a.m., 10 in the morning. Still using cavalry archers to raid the wood line. They weren't doing a good job already, and now they're just getting killed. Oh my gosh! So Skallado built his command tent unprotected in the middle of nowhere. That's odd. You know, as an attacker, if you lose that, you lose 15% morale and then a slow morale bleed. Not the best thing to leave in the middle of nowhere. Uh-oh. So it looks like Arthur was able to walk in. He's gonna finish this gate off. Gate of Jehoshaphat. I would rather, at this point with the HP being so low, I would rather destroy the gate and capture it. Let's see if Arthur opts for that. I hope he does. Arthur's gonna capture some towers now. There. And the gate goes down. So, Hypnos, Vattikaki, starting to fight back. Now, if you can get a large mass of archers... Okay, look at this. By the way, look at this, guys. This one sergeant is being a problem to these horse archers and regular foot archers. It's because they all have 3 minimum range. So you need to keep your archers supported, okay? Oh, this is gonna be even worse. Look. Anyway, as I was saying, if you could make a large group of archers, or horse archers, or crossbowmen, they can actually take out these trebuchets. Each trebuchet you kill is a big deal because there's not a lot of stone on the map, and there's not a lot of, you know, gold comes slowly. So, taking trebuchets out is a high priority for the defenders if they can help it. Arthur's running around trying to capture outer defenses, doing a good job, but Dominic is... Oh no. I think he's on stand ground. Now, Age of Empires has changed somehow. It's gotten worse. So, at least at this point in time. So, stand ground's not the best command to make right now. I'd rather he use defensive position. Spearmen are good against cavalry, but with this much cavalry surrounding the spearmen, they can do well. It's not cost effective, but it's okay. Now I would, if I was green, or if I was Arthur, I would run away from this group of spearmen. Just look, because these knights are so expensive. So losing each knight that you lose, it's expensive on food and expensive on gold. So I wouldn't want to do that. Look at this one knight surrounded. That's amazing. He took 2 guys with him. With that many guys hitting you, that's impressive. Defenders are stabilizing, surprisingly. I guess there's just not enough targets anymore. I guess there's this 1 tower, 2 tower. What they need to do, like I said, take these walls down. Just walk in. Waltz in. Maybe even widen. They could widen the gap. Just destroy this group of walls. Or take this tower out and destroy these 4 walls. That would make it a very wide breach. Right now it's this tiny, tiny little breach. Not super helpful. Dominic is stabilizing. He's got a lot of elite knights, elite infantry defending this choke point. So that's good. At this point, let's do a morale check and time check. So the defenders are at 31% morale. Attackers still at 100. A little over half of the time left in the game. So it's a bit scary to be a defender right now. They need to get some morale back. They need to capture this, get a little bit of morale back. Let's see, this is 2% morale. So they capture this, so capture this. So maybe like get 7% morale back. It's only a little bit, but it's enough. And then they need to like kill this command tent, get another 15% morale back. That'd be a great addition. Now you can see they were at 31% and they lifted off to 35%. It's because they are recapturing points. So there. So now they're restoring the morale. It's the right thing to do, but there's a big push from Siftorias on the Tower of David bridge. Yeah, here we go. So they took back a lot of morale. You could live on 39%. That's good. Although it says the Eastern Tower, they did lose a little bit of morale there. That could only mean one thing. That means that they're losing more men than they're killing. Because another way of gaining morale is by killing enemies. And another way of losing morale is by losing your own units. So if there are 30 more attackers that die than the defenders do, then the defenders gain morale. If there are 10 more attackers that die compared to the attackers, then the attackers gain 1 morale. So it's kind of representative of a 3-to-1 advantage. But looking at this, if I was a defender, I would feel like I'm stabilizing. If I would bunch some men up here. Don't let them take this point. In fact, it makes me uncomfortable just seeing just these units protecting the Tower of David. Arthur is continuing to push. Fortunately, he's just pushing with levy units at this point. They just get massacred by these knights. These knights attack faster, okay? Levy units attack slower. And on top of that, you know, you've only got a little bit of... Their attack is already low. So that makes it so that, like, these guys are just way more effective in battle. Alright. Let's go back to Capture Age. There are effectively no more defensive structures on the Tower of David at all. These trebuchets need to just start firing at something else or opening up walls. Maybe this tower won't really help much, to be honest. They should just open up walls. Let's see what they do. And that's what they're doing. Oh no. Defenders are in big trouble. This is a big problem. I hope they recognize it. This is what they see. Oh no. They need to keep this protected with units. These are tiny breaches right now. Oh. This is bad. Let's actually go in game just to show how bad this is gonna be. So look at the defender morale. 33%, right? 15 minutes left in the game. Nighttime is about 2 minutes away. That makes it even worse. Okay, so Dominic recognizes the danger. He's sending men inside. You may ask, what's the difference between crossbowmen and archers? Archers fire faster, are less accurate. Crossbowmen are more accurate, have a tighter grouping of like a shot group, but they fire much, much slower. But they're also armor piercing. So if you have crossbowmen, make them shoot these sergeants, make them shoot these knights, because their armor counts for nothing. If you have archers, make them shoot like other archers and crossbowmen, and make them shoot spearmen and swordsmen, because they don't have as much armor and they fire faster. This is more of a crowd control of levy units killing. So you can see nighttime's coming. Let's look at the fog of war. This is what Dominic sees now. What he knows is he's defending this breach. Oh, he's got some Pavis crossbowmen. These guys are beasts in range combat. They can actually take 20 ranged hits without being damaged. Hypnos is a little confused. He thought it's 45 minutes and it says 54 up here. Actually, the time left is right here on the right. I think Dominic is explaining that to him right now. Okay, let's see what he's pinging. It looks like Arthur has pushed. Oh boy, what's happening? The attackers captured the Gate of Jehoshaphat, so these two towers are now on the attacker side. But the defenders are still holding on. Still holding on to the Tower of David. This is good news for them. And with elite foot knights here, supported by crossbowmen and spearmen, this is going to be a tough nut to crack. Attackers continuing to recapture, now capture points. Defenders at 21%. Mirror matchups are interesting because there's it's really more about your tactics and strategy. Of course, it's not completely mirror because you've got Italians, Franks, and Bohemians versus Franks, Franks basically again, and Britons, but still, it's essentially close to the same armies. I'm surprised. I really thought that the attackers, being so experienced... Oh my god, here's a big unexpected attack from Skallado. Maybe this is what slowed it down. 11 minutes isn't a lot of time left. If the attackers want to win, the defenders are so close to losing at 16%. Capturing this, which is heavily protected, will instantly bring it down by 15% to 1%. And then after 30 seconds, it'll be 0. So that's crazy. But interestingly, they're not widening this gap. They're not even making units? This is curious. Skallado destroyed the Gate of Damascus. Where is he headed now? That's the question. It's 12 midnight. Let's go to capture it. Actually, let's keep it here because the defenders are at 3% morale. Oh my gosh, if they capture this. Oh my god. Who's left? Who's left defending this point? Oh! The attackers won! That was a sneak attack. That was... actually, I didn't expect that. They're too focused over here. I didn't know which way this was going, by the way. Anybody watching, I didn't know who was going to win. I didn't know if the... I thought the defenders were at a very good position. I guess they didn't expect this attack. 10 minutes. They really could have held on, actually. So, notes to attackers. Good strategy. Risky, because you can see that Arthur almost got wiped out. He miraculously survived, and I think that's only because the attack shifted over here, and the defenders were forced to pay attention. And that's how he survived. So kudos to the attackers for doing that. Notes to attackers: widen your breaches. Make like destroy these. Destroy these. Make it harder for the defenders to plug the gaps. And let's see what else. What else could the attackers done? They did pretty well. They did. I don't know. They could have. They were even gonna send cavalry to run around and capture points. So I guess the attackers did well all in all. Very good. Notes for defenders. You notice this command tent. That could have bought you more morale if you just killed it, right? I think Hypnos was there with like 3 knights. They could have taken this out. I'm pretty sure. More raids. So if the oh, they were actually working on this. If they sent like a big mass group, so like these archers actually, like these crossbowmen, there was nothing here. They could have like walked up, and while there were like melee fighting, destroyed a lot of these trebuchets to save their defenses, to save their keeps, to save their fortified towers. Other notes for defenders, I guess they could have like kept men here, or at least Hypnos could have. This is a hard thing to see, right? Like maybe if you leave 5 guys here, that could help. If it's locked, you could leave some spearmen to attack across the gate. This is a hard thing to protect, I guess, if you don't see it coming. It's really more about raiding. They could have like raided more, killed more elite tents, killed command tents, killed trebuchets. A lot of morale was lost. So I think another problem was a lot of morale was lost just from losing units. So mismatched battles. So like there were a lot of swordsmen and spearmen up against sergeants and foot knights. So like that's a mismatched engagement that you don't want to have. What else? Looking around. Curious why they're called men-at-arms instead of swordsmen, actually. They should be called swordsmen. Like this guy's called swordsman. What about Gray? Did Gray have any swordsmen, actually? I'm not sure Gray made any swordsmen at all. Anyway. Yeah, that was entertaining. I'm glad, Dominic, thanks for sending the replay in. I hope you guys, the viewers, enjoyed it. Let's take a look at the stats before going. Wow. I think this is what I was talking about. So there was you could see Hypnos and Vattikaki. They probably had a lot of levy units from the barracks, spearmen and swordsmen, facing up against more powerful units like sergeants mixed in, and foot knights, and that's probably what caused this lopsided kill-death ratio. Arthur had a fairly even one. Dominic also had a fairly even one. But yeah, make sure to know the counters, and I have a description in the In the description below, I have a guide. If you're curious, you can take a look at it. You can also subscribe and like to the mod itself on Age of Empires, the website. I hope you enjoyed watching that. See you in the next one.